We had several big games, a couple of close games, and a few teams are off and running already at 2-0. I'm your host, Jim Allred, and this is the Georgia Northwestern Technical College Gridiron Central Scoreboard Show. We had several big games tonight. We'll go ahead and get to them right now. We start off Adairsville 38, Armurchie 7. Adairsville moves to 1-1 on the season. Armurchie falls to 0-2. Next week, Adairsville plays at Pepperell. Armurchie will play host to Gordon Lee. Calhoun 17, Dalton 2 in a game you're going to see highlights from later on in this show. The Yellow Jackets survived 5 turnovers to still manage to beat the Catamounts 17-2. Next week, Calhoun travels to play Carrollton. This was Calhoun's 49th consecutive regular season victory. Obviously, that's going to be on the line next week against Carrollton. Cedartown 33, Pepperell 6 in the other game you'll see tonight. Highlights from this on Gridiron Central. Cedartown moves to 2-0 in the season. Pepperell falls to 0-2. Next week, Cedartown travels to play Lafayette. Pepperell will play host to Adairsville. Heard County 30, Chattooga nothing. Obviously, Chattooga starts the season 0-2. Tough start so far for the Indians. They're hoping to get back on the winning track next week as they will play host to Darlington, who had a bye week this week. Rockmart 27, Coosa 24. A very close game there in Coosa. The AAA Yellow Jackets managed to edge the AA Eagles there. Next week, Coosa plays host to Haralson County, and Rockmart will play host to Cartersville. Awful tough game there for Rockmart. Cartersville's one of the top 2 or 3 teams in all of Class AAA. Southeast Whitfield 17, Gordon Central 6. Gordon Central falls to 0-2 on the season. Next week, the Warriors will play Murray County. Gordon Lee 25, Coahulla Creek 13. The Trojans now 2-0 on the season. Next week, Gordon Lee is going to travel to play Armurchie, who is 0-2. LFO 27, Heritage 21. LFO gets its first win of the year. Next week, LFO is at Dade County, and Heritage will play host to Cass. Tryon 35, Lafayette 14. The Battle of Highway 27. The Bulldogs win this one again. Next week, Tryon has an open date. The Bulldogs are 2-0 on the season. Lafayette will play host to Cedartown next week. Mount Pisgah Christian 29, Model 10, spoiling the Blue Devils home opener with this one. Next week, Model travels to play Sonoraville, who is 0-2 on the season. Rome 35, Hiram 13. Rome gets back on the winning track here. Next week, Rome is going to play host to Allatoona in a very important game for the Wolves. We'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show. Gilmer County 33, Sonoraville 10. Sonoraville falls to 0-2 on the season. Next week, the Phoenix play host to Model. Unity Christian did not play tonight. They will play on Saturday. They will play at Horizon Christian. Go to PrepCentralOnline.com later in the evening on Saturday or on after that to see an article about that game. 2 games from around the state that I thought we would mention. Buford beats the reigning Class 5A champ Gainesville 38-14. The Wolves are in AAA, but obviously right there they could be in 5A, 6A and probably do just as well. Another game to note, last year Brooks County, a AA team, which Calhoun has knocked out of the playoffs for 2 or 3 years in a row, managed to beat Valdosta. This year Valdosta gets revenge on Brooks County with a 50-20 win. Right after this commercial break, we'll be back and see some highlights.
Begin your future at Georgia Northwestern Technical College. We offer degrees, diplomas, and certificates in over 200 programs of study. Choose a career in business, health, industrial, or public service. With the flexibility of day, evening, and online classes at any of our 5 campus locations, getting your education at GNTC has never been more convenient. There are many financial aid options available, including student loans. Apply now. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your college, your town, your future.
Dalton traveled to Calhoun, and not even a long power outage could take the voltage out of the Yellow Jackets offense.
A nice game.
I did amazing.
Yeah, you know, when you turn the ball over 5 times, you're not going to beat many people. But I was real pleased with the way we came out. And, you know, we didn't play very good offensively, but I tell you, defensively, we played great. And, you know, I've always believed if you've got a great defense and solid kicking game, you can win a lot of football games. And we're going to have to go back to the drawing board offensively, but the bottom line is you can't turn the ball over. We turned the ball over 5 times tonight.
What happened there with the lights going out? Do you know?
Don't really know. It said a transformer might have blown, but I'm glad we got the game in.
Begin your future at Georgia Northwestern Technical College. We offer degrees, diplomas, and certificates in over 200 programs of study. Choose a career in business, health, industrial, or public service. With the flexibility of day, evening, and online classes at any of our 5 campus locations, getting your education at GNTC has never been more convenient. There are many financial aid options available, including student loans. Apply now. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your college, your town, your future.
Cedartown and star running back Nick Chubb made a call to Lindale, and the Dragons were able to control the first half, but not the entire game.
There he is, Ryan.
Made plays down there when it counted. We got stops, and that's big because they moved the ball on us in the first half, and we knew with their wing tee offense and all the jet sweeps and stuff, the more we saw it, the better we'd play it, and we did, but it gave us trouble early, and so we felt good about our stops down there.
Begin your future at Georgia Northwestern Technical College. We offer degrees, diplomas, and certificates in over 200 programs of study. Choose a career in business, health, industrial, or public service. With the flexibility of day, evening, and online classes at any of our 5 campus locations, getting your education at GNTC has never been more convenient. There are many financial aid options available, including student loans. Apply now. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your college, your town, your future.
Welcome back to the show. Now's the time that we're doing this year where we're going to take 5 takeaways. I'm going to talk about 5 different aspects of the evening. First off, we go to Calhoun where, yes, there was a long power outage, but the biggest power outage was probably that on Calhoun's offense. 5 turnovers in a game. Calhoun still manages to win 17-2. Yellow Jackets going to have to get all the ducks in a row before they travel to play Carrollton next week. A very tough game. Of course, it's a non-region game, but Calhoun plays this really tough non-region schedule. Last week, Ridgeland, this week, Dalton, next week, Carrollton to get ready. Obviously, tonight, Calhoun still has some things to work out before region play starts in 2 weeks. Talking about 2 teams doing quite well to begin the season, Gordon Lee and Tryon in Region 6A both start the season 2-0. These are non-region wins. However, because Class A, public schools and private schools are split, they use power rankings to help determine playoff seeding. Obviously, the more games you win, the better your power rankings are. So Gordon Lee and Tryon already 2-0 are looking good. Obviously, it's too early to be talking playoffs, but both the Trojans and the Bulldogs are in good shape early in the season. Takeaway number 3, Rome had a very tough loss to South Paulding last week. Guess what? It's a new week and Rome managed to win this week is basically what I'm trying to say. 1-1 on the season. Of course, they play a total region schedule. Next week, Allatoona comes calling, and if Rome wants any chance of the Class 5A region title, you've got to win. They've got to beat Allatoona. Obviously, Rome can lose against Allatoona and still get to the playoffs, but every loss Rome has is going to make it worse. Of course, this week was a win. What was it, 1-1? Maybe they can get everything ready for the tough region game next week. Speaking of regions, Region 7 AA did not have a good night. Model, Coosa, Pepperell, Armuchee, Chattooga, and Murray County all lose. Coosa's loss was close. It was only 27-24 to Rockmart. Some of the others were a lot bigger than that. Dade County and Calhoun did win. The important thing to note, though, these are not region games. There are no power rankings in AA. So, in all honesty, the games really don't matter that much. They're just a lot of practice for when the region play opens up in 2 weeks. Obviously, these coaches and teams are going to be back at the drawing boards trying to figure out ways to make their offense better, make their defense better, and to get a win. Brett might see some of them get wins next week, but in 2 weeks, I think you're going to see a lot of improvement from a lot of those teams as region play starts. And that's going to do us for this episode of the Gridiron Central Scoreboard. We always like to thank Georgia Northwestern Technical College for helping bring us the show. Also, don't forget to go into Prep Central Online where we have full scores from all of the games, articles, videos, highlights, photos, you name it, we got it. And don't forget to come back and join us on Wednesday for the Gridiron Central Preview Show where Matt Davis and myself will talk about all the key games that we know are going to be happening next Friday. And we have some really good games to talk about. For Kevin Myrick, I'm Jim Allred saying we'll see you on Wednesday.
Begin your future at Georgia Northwestern Technical College. We offer degrees, diplomas, and certificates in over 200 programs of study. Choose a career in business, health, industrial, or public service. With the flexibility of day, evening, and online classes at any of our 5 campus locations, getting your education at GNTC has never been more convenient. There are many financial aid options available, including student loans. Apply now. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your college, your town, your future.